Hello, this is a rather grim little news clipping here. The Vice President of Vladimirsky Standard, which is a sausage company, and MP of Vladimir Legislative Assembly, Pavel Antonov, has died after falling out of the window of hotel in Rayagada, Odisha in India. I hope I've pronounced Rayagada and Odisha properly. If I haven't, my apologies to India. This man was 65 years old and he was on holiday in India to celebrate his 66th birthday. And apparently, according to the India Times, I think it's the India Express, sorry. According to the India Express, he fell out of a third-floor window of the hotel he was in. Obviously, Russians can't go on holiday to many parts of the world now, but they are still on speaking terms with India, or rather India is still on speaking terms with them. So he obviously thought he'd go there and have a good time. He mysteriously fell from a third-floor window of the hotel, and that was, what did they say? That was 2 or 3 days after another companion in the party, Vladimir Bidanov, who was 62, died suddenly in the same hotel. That was on December the 22nd. The police said that the circumstantial evidence suggests no foul play, although 2 unnatural death cases have been registered and an investigation is underway. I don't think many people think those deaths are a coincidence, especially since Mr. Antonov, let's see, it said, in June of 2022, he made a social media post in which he disagreed with the special military action into Ukraine. And there was a storm of protest on that, whichever social media it was, and he deleted it and said it was an unfortunate misunderstanding. And I don't think it's entirely coincidental that now he and one of his friends has died. The other 2, who were also on the same trip, have been questioned by the police. They're going to be allowed to give statements and then get back to Russia. I think probably the Indian police will be quite glad to get rid of them. I'm not too sure about their longevity either. The reason I'm telling you about it is, to a certain extent, when I saw this, I was brought in mind of an English film, of a British film, made by the Ealing comedy team in 1955, and it was called The Lady Killers. The setup of the story was that a somewhat mad criminal mastermind assembled a group of other criminals to rob a train, and he chose an old lady who was running, renting rooms in her seedy railway sidings side house. And she, as he put it, was the kingpin of his plan, because what he did was he robbed the mail train, he robbed the money, and then he put it in the left luggage office in a suitcase. And then later on, he got the old lady to come and pick the suitcase up from the left luggage office. He just asked her to pick it up for him, knowing that the police would not suspect a little old lady picking up some left luggage. Unfortunately, what happened was that the money was revealed by accident. And then the 4 of them had to decide whether to do away with the old lady. And in the process of squabbling over who got the money and who was going to do the old lady in, one after the other, they killed each other. Until finally, the criminal mastermind was hit on the head by a railway signal and he died too. And the little old lady was left with the money. And a spoiler alert, sorry, it's a bit late to be a spoiler alert. It was a very funny film, and it was made into another film by some American company, and that was pretty much a travesty. You should try and watch the original one. The amusing thing about the Lady Killers is that the criminal mastermind was played by Alec Guinness when he was, comparatively speaking, a young man. But what he was doing was channeling a very well-known, highly respected comedian and actor called Alistair Sim. And he was doing such a good imitation of Alistair Sim that Alistair Sim's wife said later on that people kept coming up to Alistair Sim and congratulating him on the Lady Killers. But that's entirely beside what I was going to say. What I'm talking about is the fact that Putin has been murdering his rivals for a long time now, and I think this is just another one in the long list, in the long kill list. And I thought I might warn India that when you make friends with somebody like Putin, you can never be sure of how soon your life is going to end. And I'm interrupting myself to tell you I'm Granniopteryx. I'm on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute and Minds. I let you know when I've uploaded new videos on Twitter, Gab and Parler. Sometimes YouTube doesn't tell you that, so it might be worth subscribing to one of those. Please like this video, please share it, please subscribe, and if you're on YouTube, check you are still subscribed, and support me financially if you can. Buy me a coffee or one of the other links in the description. All the links to the other channels are also in the description. But the best thing you can do for me is to share the video. Thank you. I'm sorry about Pavel Antonov. He was a very rich man, which meant he was probably a very big buddy of Putin at one time or another, and then discovered that when you sup with the devil, you should use a very long spoon. Till next time. Why not treat yourself or a favoured relative or friend to these magnificent examples of merch? The mugs and t-shirts come in the Granniopteryx design or Granbo with a firearm or the more deadly knitting needles. Go to www.granniopteryx.com and whatever platform you're watching this on, please click like, subscribe and share, share, share.